What's up, guys? It's the Downunder game here. Welcome to another Let's Try. We're going to be doing some Tropico 4. I think Tropico 5 is the newest Tropico. I might be wrong, but yeah, so we're doing Tropico 4. I haven't played Tropico 5 yet. I have played Tropico 3, and number 4 is definitely better. Like, they've improved basically everything from the third one. We're just gonna do a just basically start a sandbox where basically there's no objective, we just do whatever. So if you don't know what Tropico is, it's basically like SimCity, except there's more politics involved, where you have to deal with rebels and factions. So we're just going to do a random island. So you can also do the settings. Sorry, I burnt my tongue a little bit earlier, so I'm dealing with that. Yep, so you know, you can change the size, and depending on that, that will change like the difficulty. As you can see at the moment, it says it's easy, but as you change things like reducing the vegetation, reducing that, difficulty increases. Also, I'm pretty sure if you, so you can like change the difficulty there. We'll just leave it back at what it was on before. Yep, so now we have the other settings like political stability, so like this is like basically like how often rebels will attack and kind of stuff, and like the chance of getting invaded by foreign powers. The two foreign powers in this game, which I think is what they've had for like every Tropico. You've got Russia and then you have America. So if you like make friends with one, then the other people usually get annoyed. I think we'll just leave everything as it is. So yeah, anyway, economy, so basically, yeah, if there's lower economy, obviously it's going to be harder. Tourism, you can have people who, you can make your place more tourist friendly, or you can make it harder. Game length, I think there's probably infinite if you go, okay, apparently there is no infinite mode. Actually, I think there is, but I can't remember. Random events, that's usually like natural disaster kind of things. And population. Yeah, I'll just leave everything as is. We'll just use our custom avatar. The one I have played Tropico 4 quite a bit. I haven't finished it because I kind of got over it, like trying to do the campaign thing. Anyway, so that's our guy. Try to make him sort of like a pirate kind of thing. Yep. So then you have like choose your background, so that will increase and decrease like people's what they think of you. So I think professor is like educational people. So educational people respect you, and education and skill training is 50% faster. So you can choose like other ones, and they will give you different things. Most of them usually have like a positive and a negative. I'm pretty sure the professor only has like there's no real negative to it. So yeah, I've got background, and there's rise to power. So this is like how you became the tyrant. No, it's not really the right word. Communist leader, whatever it is. So capitalists, I get respect with the Americans. There's low democratic expectations. So yep. Traits, these are just like personal, like your character's traits. I'm not sure what those stars mean. Yeah, so basically, selecting different ones will give you different bonuses. I think you have to choose like a negative one at some point, like as one of the ones. Yep, so let's just start a game. And here we are, Tropico. So our island is a fairly basic one by the looks of things. It's just I'll just pause it for a minute so I'm not wasting time. So yeah, whoop. Okay. It doesn't really appreciate my moving of the mouse too much around the screen. So it's not too big an island, it would seem. Yeah, so Tropico, you basically already start with your what's it called? The palace, and you have a couple of other buildings as well. Unfortunately, you can't really decide where things get built. So as you can see, like, here's my dock all the way over here. So I have to try and get that linked up. So I'm going to have to build a road all the way to it. It's a bit unfortunate that you can't just choose where everything gets built to begin with, but that's how it is. There's also usually recommended things, like it'll usually recommend stuff to build. There's also like this is like relics kind of thing, and you can spend money to either you can like make it into a tourist attraction, or you can turn it into like a prison sort of thing. I've never really been a fan of the way the camera sort of moves in this game. Like it's very fidgety. It's not very smooth. So anyway, let's unpause. Whoops. Let's unpause and I'll zoom in just a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. Alright, so to begin with, let's just build a tenement because that's what it recommends. Rotating things by scrolling the mouse. Unfortunately, also placing buildings can be a little bit difficult because it doesn't really clearly show you what space they're taking up. So, something like around here, we'll probably do. Actually, I'll probably build it over this way, I think. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that shouldn't be occupying the road. So you have Teamsters, which get all like the resources, and then you have the construction, which actually does the building. Usually, as you build more things, you want to have more of them. I usually have like 2 Teamsters and 2 construction officers. And so all these are just like really basic apartment housing that you start with. Whereas the tenement's like your most common building that you'll be building. Farms get you food, and they can also get you some money. But depending on what you want to do, like you can get profit. Like you can just focus on agriculture, or you can do like mining. And you can also later on start up like industry stuff, like industrial things like furniture and cigars and stuff. So I'm gonna try. Let's see, where's roads? I think that's infrastructure. Yeah, so I'm gonna build a road out to the dock. So the dock is how you get exports and imports. So that's why I would have preferred if the dock was perhaps a little bit closer, because it means they have to travel a long way to export to get to the dock. Let's see. Another thing in Tropico is the road building can be a bit dodgy. It's not the best road building system. Alright, let's try and make it as fairly straight as we can. just go straight up. Yep, looks like that should connect. There you go. Also, there's no way to determine, as far as I know, there's no way to determine what your road is made out of. Like, around the city, it'll be like your proper tarmac stuff, but otherwise it'll just be dirt. And I don't think you can't actually like upgrade the roads or anything, so they're just stuck how they are. Luckily, you don't, the roads just get built automatically. There's no like having to actually build them like the buildings. You can also speed up the process, like the time, like in most kind of city building games. I usually have it going slow to begin with until I got things going. I could probably put in 2, perhaps. I'll also show you some other stuff, like I think the almanac. So here is all your more important information, like happiness and how many citizens you have, your money. Then it's got like people, like basically all your citizens. The more important things are like factions though. You want to keep them all fairly happy, otherwise they can cause like rebel attacks. And if you click on them, you can see there's certain things. For example, they want you, like for this group that's fairly low at the moment, they want a childhood museum or a mausoleum built. Now the childhood museum would be easier to build, the mausoleum is pretty expensive. There's also, I think, other ways you can keep them happy, but that's like basically doing these things is the main thing that'll keep them happy. There's also like events that will happen where you might have to choose between 2 factions. So the building can sometimes be kind of slow. You can spend money to actually instantly pretty much build it. So let's see. I should probably make a garage. Doesn't look like we have any. So a garage is basically like how your citizens get vehicles. So I'm pretty sure that's on there. Yeah. So this gives you vehicles, so it means people can, instead of having to walk all the way here. Garages are pretty important. Let's go put that down. Also, some buildings have roads like this, so you don't have to put them right up. It also means that like roads can actually get connected to the buildings, whereas other buildings, they don't have to be connected. So I'll probably put that there. So they can build, be building more than one thing at a time. You also notice that you can have up to like, I can't remember how many it is, it's about 20 or something. And you can increase and lower the rent, which will, if you lower it, then you get more citizens are more likely to actually go into the building. Instead of having these shacks, actually no, that's not what I want. These shacks here. So you want to try and get buildings so the shacks will go away. So at the moment, because we don't have any education, we can only build things like, as far as work goes, we can only build stuff that uneducated people can actually work at. So there's no point building something like a university or like some of the industry, like industrial buildings, because they require educated people. So eventually we will build. Like I think you start off like usually building a school and then you move on later on. So our guys still need some more living quarters because we've still got some shacks. We've got some shacks over here, so I think I might have some people live near here. Also, building can take longer depending on where it's built. Usually, pretty much, no matter where you build, there's always going to be a little bit of a penalty to the building, because there's pretty much always going to be like trees or like a bit of like a hill. You pretty much never find just flat ground where you can just build. Okay, so yep, so the construction office has its own vehicles, like they come out. So this is more like for your normal citizens, like just the normal everyday average Joe people. You can also, if you're finding that you don't have any workers, you might need to increase the wages. Alright, so that's getting built. You can also change the priority of things, or you could so you can like pause the construction. So if you like got something that you really need to get built, and you can high prioritize it and get other people to stop building other things. So yeah, we also get money from America and Russia, and the more one person likes you, the more they'll give you. Eventually there's probably going to be some decision making things to be done. So let's see. So we've got that tenement built. So hopefully those shacks will go away at some stage. So it recommends a logging camp. There's quite a few wood. Now, building a logging camp will make the environmentalists like not happy. I kind of don't worry too much about the environmentalists because they're pretty much always unhappy, pretty much just like in real life. So as you can see, the green is all good stuff, and as you can see, there's a lot of trees everywhere. So I might put the logging camp away from the city a little bit. So maybe you could put it near the house somewhere. So maybe over this way. Actually, probably want to put it somewhere where people can actually not have to travel too far. So I might put it about there. So as you can see, 8% due to rough terrain. You're pretty much always going to have some rough terrain. Just some places will be not as bad as others. Okay, so that seems okay, we'll put it there. I usually try not to build too many things at once because usually the workers can get quite lazy, I find. They seem to take a long time to build sometimes, so... And if you have like multiple projects, then it takes even longer. So we're still early on. It's not really too much to happen. Okay, yep, so we've already got a couple of those shacks gone. Yep, so we've got a couple people living here. I'm not sure if you have to actually build the building near where the shacks are for the shacks to go away. I guess it doesn't help, doesn't hurt. It's also good having the tenement near where they work. So like, I would probably build like another tenement somewhere a bit, like somewhere a little bit closer. So yeah, that's slowly going. How many workers do we even have? We have 8, which apparently they're all doing absolutely nothing. Yep. So we only have one Teamster place, which has 6. Yeah. So okay, I guess we can speed it up a little bit now. Wait, get them to hurry up. This might also be because of the penalty for the rough terrain. So sometimes I think it takes a while because of that. It could also be because it's a little bit far away. But I think it's just mainly because the builders are slow. Maybe it's because also they're uneducated. That could be another thing. Alright, let me just slow down. Okay, logging camp. There we go. You can also spend a little bit of money to get upgrades for certain buildings. Like the tenement, if I had like power, which I don't have at the moment, I could get a climate control thing, which improves the quality of the house, which usually encourages more people to go there, like to actually live there. So yeah, here we got tool shop, so trees are cut faster. This one, trees regrow. You can also change what they do, so clear cut is basically they just cut everything. Whereas this one, they spare half the trees, preserve beauty of the island, decreases pollution. So doing that option usually helps with the environmentalists a little. So it decreases pollution, also preserves some beauty of the island. I'll go with that, I guess, for now. Let's also do that one, so trees regrow quicker. I'll also have them cut the trees faster as well. Okay, so let's see. We've got 4 guys so far in there. Restaurant, so that's basically just so people can have something to do. So it's like an entertainment kind of thing. It also gives some people jobs as well. People peacefully protesting.
Peace and love, dear Presidente. Please accept this flower wreath as a gift and hear my plea.
Yep, so as you can see, environmentalists are already complaining. Didn't take them long. The drawings in Tropico are very unique. They all have this kind of caricature sort of look to them. No food imports, and the commodity price of corn is increased by 20%. So that sounds like we should be trying to do corn. So, we are doing corn. Well, that's good then. Yeah, so you usually start with a couple farms, and I think corn is like your default. Basically what you start with. Right. Restaurant's getting built. I usually don't worry about the church because the church requires an educated person to be able to work there. Also, I always find the church kind of costs quite a bit of money. It does make the religious faction a little bit annoyed not having a church, but eventually, when I have more educated people, I can do that. I think I'll build another corn farm. Preferably see if we can find a place that's got better corn. Let's see, around here where it's green is probably a good option. We could do it near the tenement. So let's see, about there maybe? Let's go, yeah, do that. So I don't think you have to have the buildings like right up against the road. I'm just used to sort of having the buildings up against the road. You're actually probably better off having them just a little bit off the road. So we're going to build some corn because the commodity is good. So that means we'll get some money from that. We also get food from the corn. Okay, so uneducated, but we have nobody working there. Okay, now we have people working there. Right. Wow, they built the farm already. That was quick. Nobody working there yet, but usually it takes like a little bit before people start to work there. Okay, so I don't really want to do church yet. Let's see. I think it's entertainment, childhood museum. I'm not sure. I think that requires educated people to work there. I can't remember. I suppose I could build like I could put the church down and then just have it paused, so it's there for whenever I'm going to actually build. So let's go put the church. Put it there. So I'm going to pause that for now. clinic. Clinic requires educated people, so I think what I'll do is I'll build the school. I don't really find the grade school helps too much. I usually just go straight for the high school. So let's put the high school somewhere, probably near where people live. So let's go with that maybe. I could also rotate it so it doesn't take up as much space. Right. Yep, there we go. So that does require an educated worker. So I'll probably have to import one. But we'll see. I think you might actually have there might be a couple of educated people like to begin with, but generally you have to have a high school to be able to get like high school educated people, and then later on you need college educated people. So yeah, that's why I figured I might as well build the high school. Yep, so that's paused, so that shouldn't get built until later. Because as you can see, it needs a high school educated, but we don't have a high school yet, so that's what we're doing now. So our farm is doing good, yeah. Again to work. These two farms up here aren't exactly in very good spots, but that's just how the game set it up to begin with. Unfortunate that you can't choose where things are started. It's usually like, they usually have it set up something like this, where you'll have the palace and then you have like a teamster and a construction office, and you'll usually have like a couple of housing, like really basic housing. Sometimes you can also have a garage like down near the dock, but otherwise you just basically have to build everything else. So I haven't actually kept track of how long this has been going, but we'll probably call it soon. We'll just let them finish building the house, the high school. It's almost there. So basically, if you want to import, like get a specialist from overseas, it costs some money to do it. But if your town doesn't have any educated people to do the role, then you have to pretty much, this is your only option really. Now this is a very common thing that I always seem to happen, where they always have it like at 98% or something like that, and then they just leave it for like a little while. Kind of annoying. So
God does not need temples, my son. However, our faithful believers do. I tried to convince them that their prayers can be heard just as well from a new pub, but they are adamant that we need a church.
What's this? Double foreign aid from Russia. Alright. Whoops. Alright, so let's see, yeah. Oh, right. They haven't finished building it yet. I thought it was built, but no, still not. Yeah, so basically you just go here. This guy who is like your finance guy, he'll be like, yep, you can get a foreign specialist, so yep, spend 500. So the foreign person will arrive when the next ship comes in. That's how you export and receive imported like specialists and stuff as well. Looks like we didn't actually need to do that because apparently we've got all
the workforce of the island is simply not enough.
Yeah, mate.
Some buildings operate.
Yeah, so eventually you can build like an immigration office, which you can let like you can have more immigrants come in, have like a cheap workforce or whatever. Or, of course, doing that means some people get annoyed. Anyway, this is Tropico 4, basically. This is only basically like the beginning, but you know, if you've done any kind of city building games, you know how it goes. You basically start off like this, and then you grow into a bigger city. I think I'll actually see if I can find one of my other games, just briefly. So that's the campaign, which I gave up on doing. Let's try going to game 1. Yep, so this is my other city that I've been playing with. So as you see, I got some docks. I'll just pause it so I'm not actually wasting any of my stuff here. So we got some docks. I mean, we got some fishing wharves. And as you can see, you got all the little saying where it's good to place things. So you got the dock. Usually you want to build a couple of docks as you go. So you got like a little relic here, like ruin that you can make and stuff. So yeah, here you got like,
Presidente,
you got a special.
may your children be
objectives that
many
you can
and
do.
your camels always healthy.
So
I want
like,
to discuss trade with you.
So at the moment you got like there's like voting. As you can see, I'm doing quite well in the polls. So you've also got like exporting to just like, if you export things like fish and jewelry, you get extra money for like completing those objectives. They're like optional stuff. Like I don't have to do this. I could like, just say
Presidente.
no.
May your children be
Anyway, so that is Tropico 4. It's on Steam. There's a bundle you can get which gives you like all the DLC. I'd probably go for that if you're going to get the game. But thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Check out my channel and check me over at Facebook and Twitter. Links in the description below. But until next time, I'm the Downunder Game, and I'll see you then.